There's a moment from years ago that still has a grip on you. Someone hurt you, said the thing, did the thing, broke something. And even now, when it drifts back in your mind, you feel a small version of the same sting you felt then. Time was supposed to heal it. It didn't. The memory is still sharp. You have probably been told the answer is to forgive and forget, as if forgiveness works by erasing the memory, wiping it clean, making it disappear. But you have tried, and you know that isn't how it works. You don't forget. The event is still right there. So here is a stranger and far more useful truth. Forgiveness was never about forgetting. It does something much more surprising to the memory. It rewrites it. And a new study published in 2026 has actually watched this happen inside the human brain. Start with why this matters so deeply, because it is older than you are. Across the entire history of our species, human life has depended on the ability to forgive. Think about your ancestors, living in small groups where survival meant staying together. If every insult, every betrayal, every small wound stayed frozen in memory with its original force, no family could hold together. No tribe could survive. People had to find a way to remember harm, so they could still protect themselves, while also making room for repair. Forgiveness may be one of the tools evolution built for exactly that. And until recently, no one knew what it actually does to the memory itself. So a team of researchers, publishing in the journal Emotion, set out to catch it in the act. And the way they did it was clever. They put people inside a brain scanner and showed them a series of images. The trick was this. The participants were told that two other people, strangers, had personally chosen which images they would have to look at. And many of those images were unpleasant, disturbing, things no one wants to see. So every time a harsh picture appeared, the participant thought, this person chose this for me. This person is trying to upset me. It was a small, controlled version of being wronged by someone. Then came a twist. Halfway through, the participants learned something new about the two strangers. One of them had a genuine reason for the pictures they picked, and even apologized. The other showed no remorse at all. And for the one who apologized, the participants were asked to do one thing: forgive them. The next day, they came back to the scanner, saw the images again, and rated how upsetting each one felt now. And here's what happened. After forgiving, the images chosen by the apologetic person felt less upsetting than they had the day before. The sting had faded. But, and this is the crucial part, the memory was not gone. They still remembered exactly what had happened, who chose what, the whole event. Nothing was erased. It just hurt less. The question the researchers really wanted to answer was how. What was actually happening in the brain to make a painful memory soften without deleting it? To see it, they watched the brain patterns. When they compared the moment of forgiveness to the memory a day later, they found something striking. When the forgiveness truly worked, the pattern of brain activity during the later memory looked more like the pattern from the moment of forgiveness itself. In other words, the forgiving thought was not sitting off to the side. It had been folded into the memory. The brain had taken the new, softer information and stitched it directly into the record of what happened. And it centered on two specific regions. The first was a part at the front of the brain that handles thinking about other people's minds. It is the part you use when you ask, why did they do that? What are they feeling? Do they mean it? Are they sorry? This is the machinery of seeing the situation from the other person's side. The second region was part of the hippocampus, one of the brain's great keepers of memory, the place that holds onto the details of your experiences. Put those two together, and you can see what forgiveness actually is. It is not deletion. It is an edit. Your memory-keeping region reopens the file of what happened. Your perspective-taking region hands it a new piece of information that the person had a reason, that they were sorry, that they are human too. And that new understanding gets written into the memory, right alongside the original hurt. The event stays. The meaning changes. The researchers had a simple phrase for this that captures it perfectly. It is not forgive and forget. It is forgive and update. Sit with how different that is from what you were taught. You were told forgiveness means letting go, erasing, pretending it never happened. No wonder it felt impossible and even unfair. You were being asked to delete something real. But that was never the task. Your brain has no delete button for the past, and it was never supposed to use one. What it can do is revise. It can hold the full truth of what happened, and at the same time, loosen the grip that truth has on you. This is why holding a grudge feels the way it does. When you refuse to forgive, you're choosing to keep the memory locked in its original, rawest form, replaying it exactly as it first landed, with all of its sting intact. The person who hurt you is not the one holding that file open. You are. Forgiveness is not a gift you hand to them. It is the moment you finally let your own brain do what it was built to do and update the record. And notice what forgiveness is not. It is not saying the harm was okay. It is not forgetting, and it is not necessarily inviting the person back into your life. The memory of the wrong stays fully intact, standing guard, still able to protect you. Forgiveness only changes how much that memory is allowed to hurt you every time it returns. So think back to that moment that still has a grip on you, the one that still stings after all these years. Time was never going to heal it because time was never the tool. The tool was always an edit you hadn't made yet. You were never meant to forget what happened to you. You were meant to remember it differently. And that quiet rewriting, folding a little understanding into an old wound until it finally stops bleeding, is not weakness, and it is not forgetting. It is the oldest, most human way there is of setting yourself free.